SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. Hi, welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 9 in the NFL, and right now we're talking with returning guest Scott Kellen from SixCentSports.com. Scott Kellen is a very well-respected NFL handicapper with a long-term track record of success and also a short-term track record of success. In our videos this year, he is 9-4 against the spread. Scott Kellen, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, not a problem. Thanks for having me, Peter.
All right, you're taking two tough games this week, and I'm glad you're taking them because you'll probably be able to shed some light some unique light on possible line value. First one we're going to discuss is KC Buffalo. Before we get into it, give a plug for SixCentSports.com where people can find your service and your picks.
Yeah, thanks. SixCentSports.com. You can go to that website. We're an NFL-only handicapping shop. 9 out of 11 winning years. This year we've had 5 out of 8 winning weeks. We're at about 54% for the year, so it's been a good year, especially the last few weeks. And we kind of pride ourselves in being very transparent with our record. You can go out and see all of our picks 30 minutes after the games kick off, and obviously that means you can see all the picks for the whole year as well. And if you got any questions, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to answer it. And we've got 4-week packages and the rest of the year packages, so hopefully something that'll fit your bill as well.
All right, transparency is good. So if anyone asks you how you're doing in, at the SBR video picks, you're 9-4 against the spread. Don't say 10-3 or 11-2. Okay, 9-4. Okay, all right. KC Buffalo.
Hey, 9-4 is not bad, so I'll take that.
Yeah. KC Buffalo is the first game you're going to take in. I'm glad you're taking this because this is a tricky one, right? KC, of course, undefeated, but they're a team that doesn't really cover big spreads very well. This is not a big spread, though. Although they are going on the road, their offense is not built. They don't have a very explosive offense at all. They get a huge boost on defense at home. So you might be leaning towards Buffalo +3, but Buffalo is having all kinds of problems. Thad Lewis at quarterback is only 50-50, so we might actually see Matt Flynn starting or coming in, in the first half or second half. They've got a bunch of other key injuries, of course, C.J. Spiller, Stevie Johnson, Fred Jackson, all of them banged up. So as much as I would be really tempted to taking Buffalo here at +3, it's just not an attractive proposition to bet on, a team with so many injuries and Thad Lewis at quarterback 50-50. What do you like here, Scott Kellen?
I do like Buffalo in this, Peter, and obviously if Thad Lewis can't play, then, that limits, why I like this game a little bit, although I like it really because of Buffalo's rushing ability, so, and they seem to be able to rush the ball almost whenever they want anyway, so hopefully the quarterback won't matter too much. If it's Jeff Toole, then, that gets pretty difficult. Flynn, who knows with Flynn? I always have hope for him, but he always seems to disappoint, so Thad Lewis hopefully can play, and that'll make this much better for me. But, Kansas City, first of all, when I look at the numbers in this game, I make Kansas City a 2 or a 3-point favorite. So we either got value or the line's fair, and that's always a good starting point. And I have probably my best rushing situation that applies to Buffalo here. And that thing is 5-0 this year already. It's done very well. It had Oakland at home against San Diego. It had Indianapolis at home against Denver. And it's on Buffalo this week as well. It's done very, very well for me this year. It's just an automatic play when it pops. And Kansas City's coming off 3 straight home games. So, number one, they haven't been on the road in about a month. So we'll see how they play once they get back on the road. And even in those home games, they were outgained in all those games. The Raiders outgained them 3.9 yards a play to 3.5 yards a play. It was obviously the trail prior mistakes in that game that doomed that for the Raiders. They were outgained against Houston. I had Houston in that game. They defeated Houston by a point. And then even last week against Cleveland, they were outgained 6.5 yards a play to 4.7 yards a play. So, and if you look, Kansas City has not faced a team that's above 500 with their current record this year at all. So it's not like they've played a tough schedule at all. They're well below average offensively, especially throwing the ball. Like you've said, they don't stretch the field or stretch their margins. Obviously, this is a smaller margin that they have to get over from a hurdle standpoint this week, but they're on the road to try to do that as well. And they struggle against the run. They're giving up 4.7 yards a rush to teams that only average 4 yards a rush. So that's a perfect scenario for Buffalo as well. And then add in Buffalo's 4-0 against the spread at home this year. They have played 4 teams above 500 this year. And while they're only 1-3 straight up against those teams, 2 of those losses at home were by 2 points and 3 points. To the Patriots and to the Bengals. They defeated Carolina at home. The one big loss was by 18 points last week on the road to New Orleans. So they're back home. They can run the ball. They can control the clock a little bit. Obviously, Kansas City's playing to shorten this game anyway. I'm just not a big believer in Kansas City. Now, I think they'll do the right things, and it's all about when you play teams in the NFL, obviously. So if Kansas City can play teams at the right time, they can overcome some of their deficiencies possibly. But I think this is a good spot where they may get tripped up this week. And like I said, that rushing situation qualifies in Buffalo this week. That's an automatic for me. As long as I'm getting value or not against the value in this, I'm going to take a shot with Buffalo. And hopefully Lewis will play quarterback for him.
Maybe Buffalo on a teaser would be a great thing to do.
I like that. I think getting a whole bunch of points is really good. And if you look back to last year, I forgot to mention it, but they lost by 3 or less points in every home game last year, other than they got blown out by New England. So it's not only this year, but even last year when they weren't that good. I think they won 6 games last year. They have been competitive at home all the time, and I look for another competitive game from them this week as well.
All right. Awesome call, as expected, as always, as usual. Scott Kellen from 6centsports.com recommending Buffalo +3, and I'm agreeing with it now. Thanks, Scott.